Hello, everyone. I wanted to talk about this wonderful, beautiful Rolex watch and this topic of money and appearing to be wealthy. So if you have question is kind of right, is appearing wealthy actually better than being wealthy? So if you've seen these posts recently on social media about, hey, you should go out and buy a Rolex because then you'll appear more wealthy, slap that thing on your wrist, and people are going to treat you better, like you are successful. That really gets to this notion, is appearing wealthy more important than actually being wealthy? Well, this is an interesting thing that's occurring right now. So that was just a piece of research that came out from a Wells Fargo study this week in a Fortune article that showed 59% of affluent millennials making over $250,000 a year say it is important to look or appear financially successful to others. Not only that, the really interesting thing here is over 30% of them are buying things to impress others that they can't afford. So that notion of going out and buying that Rolex that you can't afford just to appear wealthy is a phenomenon that is occurring. Now, another interesting thing here is if you look at other generations, only 15% of Gen Xers, 8% of baby boomers, and 70% and 7% of the silent generation say it's important to look wealthy to others when you're not, right? To look financially successful. So this is a little bit interesting that this is happening so much to the millennial generation. This topic can be put under this notion of money dysmorphia. So this kind of notion of having a different connection point or view of your finances and reality. Sometimes this is very wealthy people feeling like they're poor. Sometimes it's people who don't have enough money going out and buying things over and over and over again to look wealthy, right? This disconnection between reality of where you are with your money and how you're behaving or feeling about it. And it can be really damaging to people. It can hold people back from their long-term goals. It's kind of a new way of saying keeping up with the Joneses. So if you feel like you're struggling with this, I say, here's something you can think about. Or if you're working with somebody who is struggling with this, or if you think it's occurring at all, right? How do we rewire this notion of how we treat money and spending, right, to be more aligned with our goals and our aspirations? I think some things can start with just as simply putting down, how did we develop this relationship with money, exploring our first, right, impacts with money? Did we come from a scarcity or abundance background? How do we view money and wealth? Is it a tool or is it something that is more of a end in and of itself? It's not a means to an end, but we view it as the end. Being financially successful is the goal. That's going to change our relationship with money. So rewire that, set the goals, explore your history with money, your feelings around money, right? Those early money memories. What was that first money experience? And try to dive into where this is really coming from. So I think that's a great way to look at it. Very interesting phenomena. So again, whether you think it's more important to look successful or be successful, right? That's a really interesting question.